Hey there, Bruce, and welcome back to the Game of Fortune. We're getting close to the end of this route by the look of it, so let's just carry on where we're going. We've got one more game ahead, presumably, that we need to win if we're going to get our wish. Which might be to bring Devon back now, I imagine, or everybody. Maybe that's how it keeps cycling, because everyone keeps bringing everybody else back. I don't know. Anyway, immediately the two walked over to one of the walls of the room. I followed right behind them. Let's see where we're at. They were staring at some portrait that was on the wall. I took a glance at what was so important. They're color-coded? I guess? Why are we a different color to Devon? It's a set of pictures for each of us. Some of them had wreaths of clovers around them. Most of them, actually. Only a few didn't. Zeph, Elizabeth, Alphonse, and William were the standouts. But what did that mean? My head throbbed with pain as images, sounds, and sensations filled my brain. It was coming back to me. Everything was coming back to me. The pain, the suffering, the triumphs, the failures, every game and every route, at least the ones so far. That's only been one so far, I think. I rubbed my temple and looked at Zeph and Philip, who seemed to be experiencing their own headaches. I'm getting better at this, though it's probably a bit late to be patting myself on the back. Huh? Nothing, just getting better at recalling all this stuff, at least at this point. Oh, so you remember? Yeah, you go through these loops enough times and your head starts to catch on faster. At least I think so. Yeah, we're on loop. Zeph looked over the portrait once again. Well, at least 13 by now. Yep, 13 loops. And the one just before this should have been... Damn it. Hey, wait a second. You lied to me earlier. Oh, I mean, I don't really care right now. I know how all this works. But you didn't have to go up and lie to me about how the loop works. Making up that bullshit about Belle wanting a show or whatever. Look, it's not like I could have known that we were this far in. I need to keep you motivated in case you haven't won already. And I'm not really wrong. Belle does revive people who give her a good show. Yeah, in a way you're right. No harm done. More importantly, it's looking like out of the three of us, I'm the only person who should be able to win next. Right. Guess that makes things easier for you, huh, Phil? Philip, you're right there? Maybe he's still recalling things. I know sometimes that I don't exactly have a perfect memory when I get to this point, and my head sometimes aches like crazy. Maybe he's just taking his time getting his thoughts together. What the hell am I looking at? You alright there, Philip? Alright, how can I be alright? Do you see what I see? No? Yeah. Then you'll notice the white wreaths around Richard. The white wreaths of death. Oh yeah, I guess that's true, isn't it? Was that not part of your plan or whatever? Plan? Why would I want Richard to kill someone? That wasn't what he told me he'd do. He was supposed to bring my wife back to life. But now he's killing people? Hey, don't freak out. Don't freak out. How am I not supposed to freak out? I didn't bring my son here to kill anyone. Oh, hold on. I'm sure that he had his reasons. Reasons? That's the problem. There's only a few people that Richard would be willing to kill and... Crap. Well, you're one of them. Oh, fuck. We're fucking screwed. How the hell am I supposed to explain this to them? This is the most frantic and fearful I'd ever seen Philip before. What the hell was going through his head? Did he not think about the consequences? We were already on thin ice and he wants me to blow a flamethrower all over the ground? God damn it. Zeph and I looked at one another awkwardly as Philip began to pace around the room. I know I raised that boy to have common sense. What am I going to do? Should we try to calm him down? I don't know if there's anything we can do to calm him down. I think he's just going to have to let this one steam over for a bit. You got a clue for who he'd want dead? I got my ideas, but... Yeah, I know who he killed. He told me after all. Is there anyone I need to worry about? I don't think so. Good, honestly, I'd rather not get roped into any more messes. Seems that there's a lot of insanity going on. Yeah, I guess that's just the way things go with these games. For Richard's sake, I hope he actually lost his game. I think his dad would rip him a new arsehole if he got his hands on him. Yeah, probably. Speaking of, the people in the last group were Everett, Richard, Jade, and Grant, right? Yep. So it doesn't really matter who comes from that group. You're the only person who can win now. Everyone else has made a wish. Huh? You're right. Guess that means that this should be a cakewalk. Yeah, assuming that there's not some kind of complication in the way. Not even sure what that would look like, but hopefully we can just hand Zeph the win. Well, let's try to take it easy. No use making things more stressful. I don't know what's going on anymore. Agreed, we have enough as it is. We moved over to the couches and sat across from one another. Philip was still pacing around and muttering to himself, and we figured it was best to leave him alone for the time being. All we had to do was wait for the last winner to pop on over. So I tried to fill in the time with a few more questions. So, do you ever find out who was extorting you? Or at least get some idea? Well, frankly, it could only be a very small, select group of people. Probably one of the other leaders of the Digits of Eden. So Nigel, Sebastian, or Cole. Nigel had the gold mask, Kana had the blue one, Sebastian had the white mask, and Cole had the green mask. At least if I'm remembering right. Hey, you really must have learned quite a lot over the course of the other loops. More than I'd like, honestly. Either way, you're spot on. Like I said before, there's only a small group of people that would have known I was going to participate in the Game of Fortune 4 years ago. Those three would have known, and they would have easily been able to use me to further their own goals. And that, in of itself, was probably the scariest thing that any of them wanted to hear. The idea that one of them was trying to sow discord and chaos within the ranks, to destroy what they built up or take it all for themselves. There was an incident 4 years ago, the one where Kana nearly killed me and Kishi. Right. Well, after that, I was taken in for interrogation. If Kishi didn't latch onto my arm in that dank cell, I'd probably be a dead man. But it did give me a unique position, at least. I get to see firsthand the looks of suspicion that they gave one another when they were faced with the idea of someone crossing them from their own inner circle. Kishi, you don't have to be here. Yes, I do have to be here. Otherwise, you might not come out alive. That's exactly why I don't want you here. If they're gonna kill me, then I don't want you to see it. All four of the Digits of Eden's leaders walked into the cell and Kishi grabbed a hold of me, as if to protect me from them. The hell are you doing here, Kishi? Keeping Zeph safe. He doesn't need your protection and he certainly doesn't deserve it. We're here for information, we can't exactly interrogate a corpse. You pulled a gun out on both of us. If I'm not here, how do I know you won't just blast his head in when you're done with him? I for one think that it's fine to let her stay. I mean, we're just going to be asking some basic questions. And honestly, I'd like to have her around to ensure that you don't go ballistic. You think I'm going to lose my temper that easily? You did wave a gun around and threaten to kill your own granddaughter along with Zeph. That was... Plus, we're already dealing with a bunch of messes from what happened. Cole killed that lady. And stabbed Philip. If it was any old schmuck, then maybe this wouldn't be so hard to clean up. But Cole just had to kill one of our more affluent participants. Fuck off, Sebastian. Don't get mad at me because you went wild. Imagine if you killed Philip and his kid. Then we'd have to deal with 2 more bodies. If that bitch just did her job, then yes, we know that you feel slighted. That doesn't mean you can just murder people in open space like that. We'll deal with that issue later. If you say so. I'm just worried that we nearly had 2 dead bodies tonight. 2 bodies. If Zeph and Kishi died, then we'd have 4. I'm sure that the goddess would have loved that. Shut up, Sebastian. Sorry, stepped over the line there. My point is that we don't need any more problems, so let's just take this slowly and calmly. I wasn't sure what to make of them at that moment. Sure, I'd seen Kana enough times, but the others were a bit of an enigma to me. I was just happy knowing that Sebastian seemed to be placating the others in the room. Sorry. Okay, I'm calm. We're just going to ask some questions and get an idea as to what happened. There won't be any violence. And be honest with us, we're already asking the other participants what happened. So if you lie to us, we'll know. I'm not gonna lie. Good, it's easier to recall things when you don't have to make them up. Right, so let's just hit the main issue. You took away my immortality. Why? I told you already, I didn't have a choice. I was getting threatened. By who? I don't know. It was an anonymous message on my phone. You can read it for yourself. I pulled out my phone and showed the message on my screen. Nigel took it out of hand and read it out loud to the others. Zeph, do not respond to this message. I know that you've been tasked with granting immortality to Kana Umishima, and are set to play in the Game of Fortune this year. When the time comes, do not grant that wish for Kana. Instead, either kill her or take away her immortality. If you choose to ignore this message and don't follow through, then I'll see to it personally that your pleasant life comes to an end. By which I mean that I'll have Kishi Umishima killed. Don't tell anyone. Don't seek help, just do as you're told. I'll know if you try anything and I won't hesitate to leap into action early. Also, if you try to run away or bail out in the hopes of saving Kishi, I'll be sure to parade her corpse around so that you'll hear about it no matter where you hide. Just do as you're told. Good luck and good fortune. Holy shit. Kishi shivered and clung to me tighter, terrified that someone would be so eager to kill her just to get in their way. Why the hell didn't you tell us about this? If you're getting extorted like this, you needed to let one of us know. I couldn't tell anyone. I couldn't let anything happen to Kishi. Fuck that. How do you even know this is a legitimate threat? Could've just been some random jackass. Really think some random person would know of the Game of Fortune and that Zeph was to take part in it? Then maybe it was someone in the Digits of Eden. Some member that had it out for Zeph or something. But it's not like we told anyone that he was going to participate this year. You really think a little shit like him would keep quiet about something like that? He probably bragged about it to some people. Someone heard about it and then decided to take a stab at him. Probably some low-level punk that needs to get crushed. Zeph, you were told not to tell a soul about your involvement in the Game of Fortune. I didn't tell anyone. Why would I even risk that? Then maybe you made up the message so that you'd have a reason to lash out against me. I already know you resent me. What better opportunity than to create a false threat that you dare not oppose? You think that I just sent a fake threat to myself to kill you or take away your immortality? Well, did you do it? Kind of slammed her hands on the table and glared at me with intense hatred. Grandma, stop. Zeph wouldn't do that. You let him stay with us, even if it was begrudgingly. Why would he want to make you angry or take away the security that he's had? Easy, because he knows I don't approve of you two being together. I never have and I never will. He can't stand it. He knows that as long as I'm around, you two are never going to be a real couple, and thought he needed to get rid of me. If not now, then later. And he can't do that as long as I'm immortal. Well, that's insane. We don't get along, but I don't want you dead. I'm indebted to you as much as I hate it, but I've never once thought about killing you or getting rid of you. I know how much Kishi cares about you. Do you really think I'd do something so fucking stupid as to kill you to get closer to her? What kind of sense does that make? You insolent little... Whoa, 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 let's take it down a notch. As quick as my anger had flared, it had settled down. I was surprised how quickly I calmed down. Even Kana seemed to ease up and collect herself. Now, personally, I think that it'd be real stupid to try and kill you, Kana. Especially since we could just bring you back. Sure, Zeph could elope with Kishi, and it'd be a real cute Romeo and Juliet story, but we all know how that story ends, right? Eventually they both die, and Zeph's smart. He knows that no matter where he ran with Kishi, that we'd be able to find him and kill him. He smiled so innocently as he spoke that threat into being, but he was right. I knew how the Game of Fortune worked. If they wanted to, they could kill me easily, maybe drag Kishi back into their grasp. I wouldn't dare tangle with forces like that. So unless he was content with having his lifespan shortened to 4 years, I think that he wouldn't have taken that risk. Just my 2 cents. Sounds logical, right? Yeah, I guess it makes sense. I'd hope he wouldn't be that suicidal. I'm not. Good, well, Zeph, do you have any other information you could give us? Were there any follow-up messages, texts, emails, phone calls? Someone stalking you or Kishi around? No, it was just that one message. I never got any other contact from whoever this was. Please believe me when I say I only did this because I was scared for Kishi. I didn't want to cause any harm to anyone. I believe you, Zeph. Just checking to see if there's anything that we can look into. After all, I doubt that we can just call or trace this number back. It was probably sent from a burner phone. What I want to know is, how did they send it to your number specifically? He's a celebrity. I'm sure that his phone is very busy. No, she's got a point. This is my personal number. I don't give it out to anyone. I got a business email and a business number. Huh, that's interesting. Who has your personal number? Well, Kishi, Kana, all of you, some close friends, but they shouldn't know anything about the Digits of Eden. Some business people that I work with, but again, they shouldn't know about the Game of Fortune or the Digits of Eden. Still not much to go on, but from the sounds of it, our mysterious extortionist is one of you guys? Someone that likely has it out for Kana, knew about your relationship with Kishi and how to exploit it. They're likely someone within the Digits of Eden that knew, or at least heard, of who we'd be putting in the Game of Fortune this year. Yeah. Sebastian frowned as he looked at me, but then he turned his head to Nigel. Hey, can I take a look at that phone for a second? There's something I wanted to check. Not right now, I'm looking for something. Alright, that's fine, don't really need the phone now. Just one more question, Zeph. Yeah? When did you get this message? Do you remember the date? The exact date? I think it was sometime around January. Middle of January, maybe? I see, that's enough. Is it? I find it a little suspicious, don't you? You asked your last question, I don't want to spend too much time on this. Isn't this whole interrogation piece about getting information? I don't mean to come off as aggressive, but I just want to know what's going on, that's all. Obviously Nigel's the one who did it then. Sebastian, don't push your luck. So he's the one who sent the message. Hold on, I want to hear what he's going to ask. Kana, it's not important. Says who? We all want to know what happened. Or are you afraid that he's going to say something that'll make you angry? I'm not afraid, I'd just rather spend time on something more productive. Hey, it's no big deal, we can always talk about it at a later date. Fuck that, we might as well get to the bottom of this. You're narrowing it down to who it could be, right? The sooner we can figure out who it is, the sooner we can take him out. This is for all our safety. This bastard might choose to go for one of us next time. Nigel sighed and shook his head. Fine, go ahead and ask your question, Sebastian. I feel like I'm in the middle of a family feud. But anyway, I was just going to ask. Did you get this message a day after the Game of Fortune planning meeting? That would have been around January 15th. Yeah, it was the morning right after the meeting. You can check on the date on the phone. I think it should be there. Shit. There's something... Kishi nudged me in the chest, signaling me to stay quiet. The planning meeting? You mean the one where we went over who would be participating in this year's Game of Fortune? Yes, Cole. What other meeting would it be? I don't know, we have a lot of meetings. I'll leave that shit to you guys. If you don't understand the implications, you should really be attending more of them. Those meetings were attended only by the four of us. We were confirming who would be allowing to play and reasoning for them. Fuck. You're saying that it was one of us that said that message? Yeah. Now let's not jump to conclusions. It's possible that one of us just happened to talk to someone else about who we expected to participate in the Game of Fortune. Coincidences can happen. We don't need to start jumping down one another's throats thinking that we're trying to tear one another down. Well, Sebastian, did you tell anyone? Of course not. I'm a very secretive person. I don't like to give out information that could come back to bite me. Plus, we all agreed to keep it on a need-to-know basis until the right time. And yet you're the person suggesting someone might have spilled the beans. Well, it's only natural. I trust you all. I don't think that any of you would want to tear down what you've made, right? So just to be thorough, you didn't tell anyone, right, Nigel? I spoke to my agents about what they'd be doing in the Game of Fortune this year. I told them nothing about who else would be involved or what their desires were. Gotcha. That makes sense. Obviously, I did the same. No point in spoiling the surprise to the clients that bought their way into the game. I only told them where they need to be, and that's it. Cole? Same as you guys. Not that it fucking mattered. The bitch that was supposed to grant me immortality up and made her own damn wish. If I wanted to fuck with Kana, I chose the most unstable person to use. A shame that she died. Maybe she was caught up in some similar web of intrigue, or maybe she was just selfish. We'll check with the other players to see what she was like during the game. That just leaves you, Kana. I told Kishi and Zeph about the other players and what to expect, but I didn't tell anyone else. Was that really necessary? Kana and Zeph don't need to know what everyone else's business were. You mean Kishi and Zeph. Kishi's going to play an important role in the Digits of Eden. This is her first time playing in the Game of Fortune. I wanted her to be prepared. Not exactly fair, but I understand. Nevertheless, isn't exactly helpful. It seems that we all took precautions to keep information from leaking out. Kishi, you didn't tell anyone about what you heard, did you? Huh? Oh, no. Wish you were a bit more confident about that. But I don't have a reason to think you're lying. Wish I did, because we're back to square one. You know, I don't trust you, Sebastian. Me? What have I done to make you mistrust me so? You seem to be completely unaffected by what's happened today. I'm in the same boat as you are, Kana. Not in the slightest. You still have your immortality. I had mine taken away. Cole wasn't granted his. You seem to be sitting high and mighty right now. Is there a reason why you left Nigel's name out of your accusations? He's doing completely fine himself, you know. No offense, Nigel. Just have to bring up the logical points. I understand. Nevertheless, I don't appreciate it. Sorry. I think he's the most suspicious too. Sus, man. Anyway, it's a bit silly to think that I'd have a hand in what happened to Cole. That lady seemed to have her own goals in mind. I mean, if she were alive, I guess we could ask, but that's what I think. If you're just suspicious that I don't have any misfortune, then you need to look at Nigel as well. Or are you too scared to speak up against your superior, so you're just bullying me to get a jab at him? That's what pisses me off, the sneaky little grin and your damn tricks. For starters, Nigel has his own problems. He's dealing with that damn annoying detective that keeps gathering info. You do know that if that detective publishes anything damning, that we're all going down, and not just him, right? I consider that a group concern and not one for him. Wait, what about that detective? Is it possible he might have gathered enough information to make a threat like that? I don't know exactly how much he knows, but if he knows about the game's details, he could make an easy threat. All he'd have to know is who'd be playing the game. How would he even find that shit out? We're tight about that information. This isn't just some bumbling police officer that's doing some Google searches, Cole. This guy had our number for a while now. He's tracking down old participants and asking them detailed questions. He might know enough about the game to at least understand how it functions, if not totally. After that, you just need to get a hint of who might be playing this year. I mean, just think about it. If you knew about Kana, then you could easily find out about Kishi. If you knew about Kishi, you can find out about her relationship with Zeph. The only thing is that you couldn't have known for sure that Zeph and Kishi were playing together unless someone told him. Sebastian furrowed his brow and hummed to himself. Enough. We're just going to talk in circles. There's not enough evidence to know for sure who the extortionist is for certain, but I can tell that it's exactly what they want. They want us to be suspicious of one another, so we'll break down. Let's not fall prey to their schemes. The air was tense, but it seemed that Nigel had reaffirmed control over the situation. That said, if I find out that one of you is responsible for what happened today, that you're trying to destroy everything we've built together, I won't hesitate to make your last moments of life as gruesome as hell itself. That is my first and final warning. We'll do some follow-up on this, but for now, we should just leave Zeph be. Cole, tomorrow we're going to visit that detective and see if we can get some information out of him. Sure thing, boss. Sebastian, make sure the events of today get properly cleaned up. Aye, aye, sir. Kana, I want everyone who saw what happened last night silenced. Use whatever you have. Money, threats, promises, it doesn't matter. I don't want discord spreading. Yes, sir. Then we're good. Zeph, you're free to go. Completely? What would you have me do? Chop off his fingers for being threatened? This is a tragic accident. We won't let it happen again. If you receive any news, you're to report directly to us no matter the threat. Understand? Yes, sir. Then you're free to go. Nigel left the cell along with Sebastian and Cole right behind him. I really am sorry. I didn't want anything bad to happen. I don't care. You took away what was most precious to me. Surely your granddaughter is most precious to you, right? Because, you know, you're a feeling human being or whatever. I can't stop you seeing my granddaughter, but I don't want to see you living in our home any longer. Pack your things and find your own place. Yes, ma'am. With her final words, she left the room and my chest deflated now that the worst was over. Christ, that was terrible. Kishi, I'm sorry. I made you go through all that just to fail. I wanted to keep you safe. If you want me gone, then I wish you'd told me. I wish you'd trusted me. I just didn't want to lose you. You're the only good thing I've got in this world, and I didn't want to lose it. I don't want to have to start from scratch again. If you weren't a damn romantic, I'd have thrown you to the wolves already. I know you didn't do it out of malice. I just wish everything we went through wasn't for nothing. Yeah, all that torment and pain we went through, it amounted to nothing. Damn it, I really am the worst. But I guess I did get one thing out of this. What? Proof that you really do love me. If you're willing to die and piss me off to make sure I was alive, that means a lot. Grandma could have said something similar, but apparently she cares more about her immortality than she does me. Apparently. What's wrong with her? I don't know, Kishi. But as long as I'm around, you can be sure that I'm going to do everything I can to keep you safe. Even if it means you hate me in the end. Because I love you, and I never want to lose you. I love you too, Zeph. How romantic. Yeah, well, it wasn't as smooth as I made it out to be. She's still mad at me. She was still mad at me, and there were other issues we had to work out. But if anything, I proved that I would do what I could to keep her safe. And that's what I'm going to do. Even if it kills me. But I'm hoping that it doesn't come to that. I'm hoping it doesn't come to that either. I've seen enough death for one day. Still kind of crazy that someone would try to extort you in the same way. Seems risky, like you could have gone to someone. Well, to be fair, on their end they did change things up a little. How so? So they had the usual threat, but this time they added a little more to it. If my phone worked, I could show you the message, but it was like, do not fear the outcome, you and Keisha will be free if you follow my orders. No more responsibilities, you and Keisha can live the rest of your life if you truly want. Isn't that what you want? Isn't that what she wants? This is not meant to be a threat, it's a promise that you will thrive if Kana is gone. Follow your heart. Good luck and good fortune. That's fucked up. First they threaten you, and now they're trying to convince you that it's for the best. Gotta say, it was tempting at least. Both Kishi and I aren't exactly happy in being in the middle of the Digits of Eden mess. Kishi is stuck because of life circumstances, and I'd love nothing more than to take her out of it. But doing it this way? Killing or pissing off her grandma? I can't do that. Despite her flaws, Kishi loves her grandma, and she just doesn't want to be involved with the Digits of Eden. So what can I do but hope for the best? I gotta have faith that this will work out for the better. Have faith, huh? I guess for a guy in his position, that's all he can do. I stood back up and walked over toward the portraits. I wonder. You were asked to kill Kana specifically. Kill her or remove her immortality, whichever came first. I guess it's because they expected Kishi to grant that immortality to Kana. Right. But Kishi's already used her wish to revive someone. If she was supposed to grant immortality to Kana, she's already messed up. I noticed. Only two options that make sense to me. Either she was killed after we entered into the game, or Everett wished her dead. Don't know why the fuck he'd go and do something like that though. He's supposed to work for the Digits of Eden. Seems stupid to try and kill your employers. Unless he's working for the extortionist that's trying to get Kana killed. Or maybe he views her as a threat. I guess. The main thing I was wondering was if maybe your extortionist had multiple agents. Maybe you're not the only person they've pressured. I guess it's possible. That might explain why they seem so confident in their message. If multiple people were aiming to get Kana killed, it wouldn't be hard to do so, even with me and Kishi trying our best. Really hope that's not the case. But the good news is that there's only one other person that wished for someone to die. And I have a good feeling that Richard didn't wish for Kana's death. So that would only leave myself, Elizabeth, Alphonse, and William. Right. I don't think any of them have it out for Kana, but I guess only time will tell. Still, these last few wishes? I wonder how they're going to go. So is Alphonse the detective that's snooping around? I'm guessing. Right? Looks like the final player has arrived. We all turn to face a newcomer. Is it Richard? Richard, I swear that if that's you, you got some serious explaining to do. Oh no. Apologies, everyone. I just come across some disturbing news that had me riled up for a bit. Something involving Richard? Unfortunately. Hey, you'd be kind enough to put in a good word for me and my boy, wouldn't you? In the event that we might need some help? I'll have to determine that later. By then it might be too late. Either way, Everett walked over to the portrait and stared at it. Let's see just how... He probably wasn't going to be happy with what he saw. But that wasn't my problem. He stared at the set of pictures for a few seconds in silence. I don't know what the pictures really mean. Damn it. He suddenly punched the picture. Can't anything go my way even once? Did that woman do what I asked, or did she do something else? Why can't that bastard win already so I can keep Nigel safe? Everett huffed and retracted his hand, but the picture was completely fine. He rubbed his hand across his throat as he started walking away from the picture. You okay? No, but it's fine. Still plenty of time, still plenty of options. I just have to remember them. Cool. Sounds like you figured out what you need to do. Is your throat okay? It's fine, just a bit sore. Let's just get right into the last game. About time, there's only one option left though. You know that, right? Yes, I'm well aware, Zev. Good, then let's make this quick and so we can get going. Not much further to go. Right, let's go. We're all in agreement, no point trying to drag things on. It sounds like Zev has to win this game, so I guess we don't have to try. At least the next game ought to be relatively simple and easy, at least in terms of getting Zeph's win. We walked to the last open game door and walked inside. Hey Belle, let's jump right into the business. We're all in agreement here, it's my time to win, so you can make things easier for us. Zach smacked the television screen a few times, hoping to get Belle to pop up sooner. He got mixed results. Ow, what the fuck? Rude. Belle's voice cut in with painful electric static. Rude, 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 rude. You're being so rude. I thought that you had manners. Manners? You're the one that just zapped me. You're going way too fast. It's disorienting. Going too fast? Yes, we have to stick to a rhythm, a good pace. As soon as Everett came in, you just decided to zoom through everything. You didn't ask how to beat Grant, Jade, and Richard. You didn't bother talking to him long either. You just came right to me, which honestly I'm flattered, but you need to give a girl a break. Are you saying that you need a break? It's hard to imagine you needing much rest. I enjoy my 5-minute power naps. But if you're also eager to get into the next game without bothering to go through the motions, I can't exactly stop you. Though there is another problem. Problem? What's the issue? The issue is you four. You're all too wise to what's going on. I'm not. How am I supposed to make the finale interesting and engaging if you're in the know on how things work here? At least usually there's some scuffle on who gets to survive at this point, but since you all know, I'm in a bit of a pickle on how to raise the stakes here. Ah, well, naturally it just happens when we get closer towards the end, doesn't it? I don't think I need to worry about it. No, I'm not going to have our last games be without some kind of explosive tension or action. There needs to be blood, sweat and tears. Otherwise the players are going to feel cheated out of their money. Huh? Ignore that, it's not for you. What to do? What to do? Okay, you know what? Let's try this. I don't know if this will work for all of you, but in addition to the usual rewards for winning the finale, the winner this time around, the winner will get to know what the motivations of another player's wish. Now, I'm not going to spill the beans of exactly what the wish was, but I can tell you how they were feeling, what they were conveying to me, the dark secrets they would take with them to the grave over these secrets. Is that supposed to motivate the rest of us into actually trying in these last few games? I'm just trying to spice things up a little. I can't have you all dragging your feet and throwing yourself to death without even at least trying. At least meet me halfway here. No thanks, I worked my ass off to get my ass off enough here. I think that taking the easy road would be nice for once. Well, I guess we'll just have to see how you're feeling when I set you up for the next game. What is the name of the finale this time? The name of the game is Off the Chain. Oh, hell yeah, I already like the sound of this. I wouldn't cheer so quickly. I doubt this is going to be some kind of party game. Everett, you should know that all my games are party games. Not the kind of party I want to attend. Well, when you're ready to enter the game room. And try to bring your A game, okay? The screen shut off and Belle disappeared. Guess she's really trying to make this interesting. Well, no matter what, I'm still going to give it my all to win. This isn't particularly motivating on my end. It is for Philip, though. You don't need to worry about me getting anyway. That would be nice enough Teresa failed just as I did. I'm just going to move on. I have other things to worry about. Same, I ain't trying to struggle any more than I already have. Let's just get a move on. We walked into the game room ready for whatever whimsical game Belle had for us this time. And with that, we're out of time for this episode. Once again, so we're going to wrap this one up here and kick off with the final game in the next episode. And maybe we'll see what happens next. We're getting a lot of info because we're like, there's so many routes that all go together. I guess each one's going to give us a little bit of information. But a lot of what's happened near the end here is, I don't know what's going on, but I'm sure it'll make more sense later on. Anyway, thanks for watching, Preston. I'll see you in the next one.